Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, your place for news and gameplay. Some good, some bad, and let's be honest, likely some raging tilting. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. Today's episode, take a look at some test server action. Specifically, we're again looking at the Leech. This is now, I believe it's the second weekend in a row that the Leech has now been on the test server. So we're going to actually run a full hangar of the Leech this time. Usually I try to only run any of the new bots once or twice and have other things in my hangar just to see what else could probably counter it. But I thought I'd change it up this time and just run a hangar completely of Leech. So let's quickly go over the hangar, then we'll get into some gameplay. So first thing I have here is the Leech running 4 Vortex, anti-control 2 thermonuclear reactors. I didn't put last stand on this because as a bot running Vortex, I'm basically going to be behind cover most of the time. And I put the advanced repair unit on here. And I actually have an Adrian pilot for every single one of my Leeches, just to make it a little bit easier on myself. So I have increased weapon damage. Most of my setups are pretty much identical. I have a few small variations with the pilot skills on different setups, but for the most part, I'm running increased damage, increased specific weapon damage because it is Leech running the exact same weapon if you put 4 of them on it. I have increased durability, increased speed. All active modules recharge faster, and the Leech locks onto target faster because this one does require a lock on. Now, usually I try to run healing skills on my bots, but I've noticed in the last few test servers, the healing skills, at least for me, never worked. So I was at a significant disadvantage to those who are actually running repair unit or advanced repair unit. So I do have some healing skills on a few of my pilots. I just want to test to see if maybe the healing does work or not. But I expect it probably still is broken, and that's the reason why I actually put healing on some of these bots anyways. So if we go to the next one, we have 4 ion weapons, anti-control last stand thermonuclear reactor, again with an advanced repair unit, the pilot. Again, like I said, increased damage, increased durability, increased speed, locks on target, again because ions do require a target. And this is one of the ones I put a healing on to test out to see if I use my ability, if I can actually heal some of my durability. The next one up is the Leech running Scourge. I put lockdown ammo on this one just because Scourge benefits more for sustained hit on a target. So anti-control last stand thermonuclear reactor. Again, the Adrian pilot here running increased damage, Scourge increased damage. I do have another healing on this one, just the regular repair over time. We'll see if that works or not. And I have increased durability, increased speed, and again the lock on increase. Having the next one is Leech running 4 Corona, anti-control last stand thermonuclear reactor, again with the advanced repair unit. On here we have increased damage output, also increased shot grouping for the Corona, increased durability, increased speed, and all active modules on a Leech. Oh, okay, I didn't realize this. I wanted to actually all active modules cost less. All active modules recharge faster. That's the one I wanted. But anyways, I'll fix that later. And finally, the last one, I threw Hydras on it. I'm not a Hydra player. I don't like people who play Hydras. But I figured, what the hell, I would just put it on here just for a change of pace. So the Leech running the 4 Hydras, all 4 thermonuclear reactors. I threw the death mark on here. And again, with my pilot, the Adrian pilot, I have a healing skill on this for overtime. I have the increased weapon damage, increased Hydra damage. I also put the Survivor on here, so the Leech actually gets even more damage from the Hydras, but the speed is lower. And therefore, to counteract that a little bit, I put the increased speed on it. And finally, the Leech has increased durability. So that is my setup here. And I guess what we'll do is we'll just run into a game. Hopefully we can get a match. It is getting relatively late in the morning for the test server. I find at this time sometimes the matches take a long time to find, if at all. So fingers crossed I can actually find myself a match. So without any further ado, let's get into the action. Alright, here we go. Beacon Rush on Springfield. What to start with? Let's see here. Let's just start with the Scourge. Okay, I'm going to have to remember, one thing I want to test on these bots is the healing skill. And my Scourge one does have the healing over time. So I'm just going to go up here and grab this beacon. And then we'll see what we're going to do from here. So I was able to find a match. It did take me about 3 minutes or 2 minutes 45 seconds, something like that, to find a match. It is getting pretty late in the first opening on the morning, on the Saturday morning for the test server. Alright, so we're grabbing this beacon. Let's crap it here and let's work our way over towards the center and see if we can get some enemies in line of sight here. See how these Scourge weapons will do on this bot. So this guy here, you can see these have the last stand. They have that dark red indicator. Okay, that guy. Okay, we're hitting him pretty good here. Oh, I got hit pretty good there too. Ouch. He's got ions back there. Okay, so he's gone. Oop, those Taurons are hitting me. Oh, I'm getting roasted here. Okay, so I just got that Repulse ability used on me, so I hide. Okay, so that stupid guy with Attribution is back there hit me. Alright, so let's go into the Hydra build. Let's try to get behind a little bit of cover here and send some Hydras on into... I wasn't even paying attention. Was I even getting healed? I don't think my Scourge was getting healed. Okay, I gotta watch this one. The Hydra also has the healing over time. So I'm gonna go over here, get behind this before this guy can hit me. Okay, so I've just used my Repulse ability on this guy here. So if he turns and decides to hit me, he's going to get the take advantage back, and my Repulse ability is over. Okay, so we just killed him. I got hit, and what the? Where the? How did that? That guy was over 700 meters away, and he hit me with Vortex or Spirals, whatever it was. That should not have happened. How the hell did he do that? Anyways, gotta get back to it. I am not healing, so the skill for healing is still broken on the test server. Alright, so I've used my Repulse ability, and he's down. So, gotta get back in cover. The one that was Scourge to hit me. I think that's an Aujun running, not Scourge, a Calamity. Okay, so I'm going to try to hit him. He's taking some damage. I used my Death Mark on him for my Hydras. So he's going into flight now. I don't have Quantum Radar. I actually don't have Quantum Radar on any of my bots. He wants to hit me. Okay, so I'm going to try and target this guy again. Okay, I use my Repulse ability, and you see he's taking damage without me even hitting him. Because he was shooting me with his Calamities while I used my Repulse ability on him. Okay, so we've activated his last stand. Get back behind cover. Come on, there we go. Okay. Whew. For some reason I was kind of stuck there. I wasn't able to move. Okay, so his last stand's been activated. I might be able to... Oh, he's out of my range. Here comes that Calamity Aujun. He'll probably take me out here, because I have to get another lock on. Okay, so I'm taken out. So let's drop right on in with the Corona. Let's go in and take this guy out. Now the Corona has the healing module. It does not have any healing skills. And I specifically put the healing module on several of my bots because the healing skill doesn't seem to work very well in test server. It hasn't been. And this test server is no different. The healing skill does not work. Although I see that guy was getting healed when he used his ability. That Aujun. Yeah, I saw that that green flash go across his bot when he used his ability. So maybe it's just the healing over time one that's bugged. Maybe the ability one. Okay, so we got that kill. Maybe the ability one is fine. It's just the healing over time. Oh, gotta go move to the side. If you go side to side, you can usually minimize the damage of a Vortex or Thermite or Spirals coming at you. Is it Spirals? No, Aphids. Sorry, Aphids. Oh, here they come again. Go to the side. I got hit pretty good there, but still I minimized it. I got to get a line in sight of this guy. Okay, so I repulsed him. His stuff's going to hit me, and he didn't really take much damage at all from that. I expected that full hit that I took to do more damage to him, but it didn't. Anyways, he's down. We'll move over here to center. Okay, somebody just dropped in there. It looks like it's a Leech as well. So he repulsed somebody. So I'm not going to hit him until... Okay, there his ability's going. Okay, his last stand is gone. Okay, and now let's take him out. Okay. So I didn't time that quite well. I thought it was firing just as his ability was wearing off, but it was still there for another couple seconds. Again, it just takes time with everything. The test server is the only time we have a chance to play around with these things. Okay, so stop firing, wait for his last stand, and let's take him out now. There we go, kill. Alright, so let's, I guess, move on over here to the platform, I suppose. See if I can get over here some way to get in the fight. Okay, slowly but surely, work our way over. Alright, so looks like it's going to be a 3-on-1. Oh well. See how well I can do with these Coronas. I do like the Corona build on the Leech, I must admit that. The Leech doesn't have a lot of HP, a lot of durability, so it is squishy, but I'm just a brawler. I like to brawl. So let's go over here, see if I can lock anybody down. We'll just cap this beacon. So we're capping the beacon, and then we're going to go for... See if we get, okay, that guy just got taken out. We're not getting a lot of kills, but that's okay. Okay, so... Oh, okay, good. We got his last stand activated. Alright, so let's come on in here, see what we can do. Oh, somebody just got taken out again. Alright, so looking around. Okay, they're spawning over there on the left-hand side. And we have an Orcan Leech, looks like right here. Let's use Repulse on him. I'm not firing him, and he's taking his own damage back. And... oh, geez, this lasts longer than I thought it was. I activated his last stand, but unfortunately my last stand was already activated. So I lost that exchange. Alright, time for Vortex. Can I get up here and hit somebody? Let's take this guy out. Come on, in range, and now. Boom! Gotta love Vortex. I'm still learning how to play Vortex. I recently got a Spectre Vortex on my main account. Come on in, and boom! Oh, no. I thought I would have gotten the kill on that one, but it must have been just behind cover. Oh, wait, no, it's a Falcon. This is just his Falcon. No wonder I didn't really do much damage to him. Oh, somebody else took him out. Alright, so let's... looks like they're spawning in over here on the far right-hand side. There's one guy over here. Although, it might be a Loki. And I don't have Quantum Radar, so I might have to just go towards center. Okay, so he's out of stealth. Just keep an eye on him. Does it, if he goes back in... yeah, it's a Loki. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do much against him. Not unless he decides to unstealth. Yeah, let's go to center. The game's almost over with anyways, so I probably won't even get to center to throw off one more shot. Looks like it's a nemesis up here. Can I get it close enough? Ah, I was just coming into range to throw off a shot. Can I get it? Can I get it? Oh, nope. Game ended. Alright, so that was a decent game for the Leech anyways. I still need more practice with it, but... so let's see how we do. Let's see how we did. This game is going to freeze on me. I don't think it's going to come back so I can see the end score. Well, we're just going to leave it here a minute and wait and see if it comes up. But in the meantime, I'll give you my final thoughts. I'm still on the fence with the Leech. I know a lot of people I've heard say that it's going to be the next OP bot. I can see it from a perspective that the Spectre at one point was an OP bot because it had 4 medium weapons. And what also made the Spectre OP was it had a stealth jump. Now they've nerfed Tarons, they've nerfed Orkans, so I really don't see people running Orkans on a Leech. I run Orkans on my Kumio, and I am desperately looking for something else to put on them because the Orkans suck now. I'm sorry to say, it's just to use on a bot like a Kumio where you're going in, you're trying to cap a beacon off the bat, and you're going to have to battle somebody, usually for that beacon. The Orkans used to do a decent job, and now they're just pitiful. But anyways, I'm digressing. This is test server. So yeah, the Leech. I can see it becoming a bit OP. I still find it kind of confusing. If you're going into a situation and you have 2 Leeches fighting each other, it's hard to determine who is repulsing whom. So you don't know if you can shoot the enemy or not, because you don't know if the enemy had repulsed your teammate or if your teammate repulsed the enemy. I don't like this ability. The fact that you can take damage without actually putting off a shot. The fact that the repulse ability goes through all shields. Absorption shield for the Greek bots. The Ansel shield for things like the Heishi, or if you're running an Ansel shield on Lancelot, or a Aegis shield that's on, say, the Bulwark or the Blitz. The fact that you can essentially just, quote unquote, using the term of the bot, leech damage from them just by essentially locking them. And if somebody actually hits you, then your damage is, half of it is redirected to them. I don't really agree with that. Shields should be there for a reason, and Pixonic is making this game a lot more complicated than it needs to be. And they really, in my view, have to start rethinking things at a ground level. Because they're getting to a situation now where they're doing OP bot and OP weapon after OP bot after OP weapon. And a game like this should be all about balance. Most of the bots, most of the weapons, without talking about the lower tier stuff that actually helps a player learn how to play the game. But say anything that you can obtain from Diamond League up should be viable in any league. You know, yes, it might take a little bit more skill to use some of the older bots or weapons, but they should be viable, and you should be able to compete with them. But if you do things like, for instance, what they did recently is they nerfed the Orkans and they nerfed the Gusts, 2 weapons that nobody's really been asking for nerfs for. Same with Tarons. Nobody's asked for Tarons to be nerfed. And what they're doing is they're essentially trying to force players to go to their newer equivalents. So instead of using Gusts, you're forced to go to Halos because the Gusts are just ineffective now. They essentially nerfed it in half. Similarly to Orkans, they really are trying to make it so that certain weapons and bots, I feel, are only usable in lower tiers of game. And my opinion is it shouldn't be like that. A lot of things should be balanced, and the Leech is one that should be balanced. There should be a counter for everything. And right now, the only true counter to a Leech is to essentially sit there and not do anything. And that's no counter. It's getting... How do I put this nicely? You know what? Screw nice. It's getting absolutely pathetic, the way Pixonic is starting to go with some of this stuff. They have some interesting concepts. Even the phase shift, I don't think we needed it in the game. It's causing even more rifts and even more problems in the game now, and I knew it was going to be. And I can see the Leech being the next Ares. You're probably even going to end up with something like called the Leech train, where you have a group of Leeches just going straight down the center beacon, and they just one after another just be activating their Leech ability. And yes, it doesn't necessarily protect the guy right beside you, but say have a Leech train with, say, 3 Leeches and 2 Ares or something like that. where the Ares are protecting everybody else, and the Leeches are just constantly being, using the Repulse abilities, and nobody's wanted to shoot them. So I really think Pixonic needs to rethink things like the Leech and other weapons and bots coming down the pipeline into a more balanced gameplay. Not everything they need to introduce needs to be OP. That's my opinion, and I fear that the Leech could be OP if it's not addressed and balanced properly during the test server. And unfortunately, the test server is not really a good place to test things because you have no idea really how the player base is going to use a bot when it comes to the live server. And that's what happened with the Ares. A lot of people warned Pixonic the Ares what they were going to do, and Pixonic sat on it and sat on it and sat on it some more, and these problems developed and they didn't do anything until it got to a point where everybody was now able to obtain Ares because they were in the workshops. Then they finally decided to do it. Well, if you're going to balance something, Pixonic, do it when problems arise. Don't let the problems escalate. And I hope you learned your lesson from the Ares and keep a close eye on the Leech and balance it appropriately. Anyways, it doesn't look like the screen is going to come up so I can see the final endgame results. So those are my thoughts. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And until next time, and then also always, cause some mayhem in the field for me.